it makes more sense to Manway, maybe Lyra, maybe Grace, Manway, one of those healers to get them out of the fold. Or maybe they want to keep Lyra Grace open so that if Artisan pick one healer, then they can pick then Popeyes can pick the other one, which they're doing. They're bound in the box to keep both healers open so that they're guaranteed to get at least one of them if they want to.
Yep, and one more thing is as well, with the Baron being banned out, then of course Artisan is really just down to a few very reliable weapon carries. I'm not surprised if Artisan actually do go for, I wanted to say Idris, but Glaive is a good pick as well. I mean, it is a very reliable flex pick. But then on the side of Popeyes, going for that Idris at this point in time would be the more reliable pick. But with a Glaive just roaming around, just being there as a presence itself, that big cat, it might be a dangerous pickup on the side of Popeyes.
Yeah, I think Glaive's a good flex pick. He's a good Idris counter as well. If they decide to first pick Idris, thinking that Baron and Box banned away, we think Idris is the next strongest carry, which some teams do believe. And so Glaive a good preemptive counter, and as you said, a great flex pick into any position they want. And I think it makes sense to pick the Lyra. You want the strong healer. You want possibly to stop Glaive after burning with a correctly timed Bright Bulwark. And a Fortress ban makes me think that they've either just don't need to ban anything and they're happy that they get the comp they want, or they've got a very specific comp they want to play that's countered by Fortress. Like, I don't even know, maybe a really potent comp that, a Celeste and a Kestrel that they really don't want Fortress driving in on, maybe.
Or maybe it's just a mortal wound from Fortress. The side of Popeyes might just go for triple or double healing at this point in time.
Maybe.
So with that comp, so there you go. So they might, let's just see if they actually go for that Grace, being pick up that on hit, the proc Grace, or we might even see an Adagio in lane. So it is really just down to how they were banning. They banned out that mortal wound dealing heroes. We do see an Adagio. Because we have a Fox that, the first item priority, it's usually that of Poison Shift. It deals a lot of mortal wound, and then of course Fortress that does a lot of mortal wound as well. So on the side of Artisan, they should try to opt for that Grace, just to remove that Grace from the equation, just to help their team with that little bit of sustain.
Yeah, they're not going to go triple heal. I highly doubt they're going to go Adagio, Lyra, Grace. Honestly, I see how it could work. You go Attention Bow on hit Grace, lane CP Adagio, and roam Lyra. It could work. I don't think it would, but hey, you never know. Maybe they're practicing it and they'll be amazing.
There is another comp coming out from this triple heal when you actually do see that Adagio, that Lyra, the Adagio go be Crystal, and then we see a weapon Grace with that with a build up of Tension Bow and Double Tyrant's Monocle, similar to that of Grumjaw.
Yeah, similar to the Grumjaw build. Yeah, that could work. Idris is a great pick. You do not want to give Idris over to a double heal comp. Idris with double heal is unkillable normally, and if you pair that with the double heal, he's even more unkillable. I think it would have made more sense for them to go someone like a Rona, someone like a Taka, who can apply mortal wounds anyway. Obviously, Idris is going to be a Poison Shift second item. We're going to see Rogue Grace, and we do see the first Grumjaw. We haven't seen Grumjaw at all, and he's quite good against Idris if he can eat Idris out. That's basically the main damage dealer that's out of the fight. And then Finn is so slow that Grumjaw can run away from Finn, and he can keep Idris in a 1v3 where Finn can't even help him. So that could work well. I think we'll see, as you said, the weapon power Grumjaw, Tension Bow, Double Tyrants. It's a good build. I'd like to see. We saw Finn win earlier today without Echo or Null Wave, but I'd like to see an Echo and Null Wave on Finn because I think it's a really good idea to guarantee your pool lands, and if you could do that, then that basically turns the fight into favor.
Definitely. I mean, shutting down that Lyra with that Null Wave Gauntlet is a very it's one of the more go-to pick coming out from Finn, because Finn has got such a high HP pool as well, so it is a really good pick for Finn. And like you said, it is just to land all those Force Accord that he might miss because of the oncoming Crucibles. But anyways, just look at both of these team comps. I think the more balanced team comp will be coming out from the side of Artisan with that Idris and of course that Glaive. And there is this particular patch where Glaive and Finn is just such a good combination together because of how both of these heroes just want the enemy teams to fight around them. And of course, the extra fortified health that Finn can, bestow upon Roasty Mitoasty on this Idris would be very valuable in the late game. So unless Grumjaw can get to this Idris, I personally think that Popeyes would have to fight hard and would be a hard-fought game.
I think Artisan have a good draft here, but the only problem is obviously the double heal means you basically have to buy a poison shiv on at least one of your heroes, and this actually going to be a triple invade by Popeyes. Shingy's knowing the weapon god was really strong in the early games, they're going to go in, and Delphi is actually going quite low. It's not the hero you want, but if you get a first blood, get it on whoever you can, it's going to die. The fly company not quite come down to save him. Aeon is actually very low, but the Imperial Sigil from Lai will keep nice and healthy, and that is backs for Shinyi. Aeon and Tezaboy immediately going straight back home, stopping any chance of Roshi or Hakon's going to their backs. Hakon's is going to try it. He's probably going to be speechless, but he's going to get ambient gold from the lane, and now I think that will be Adagio rotating up towards the lane to try and get his farm. Hakon's is just going to maybe try and get a gank because he's seen out of the bush. No, he's just going to, yes, he actually got his Twisted Stroke first to try and clear the jungle quicker. Which makes a lot of sense on Glaive, but it's horrible if you get invaded because you need that afterward to get someone out of position or get yourself in a really good position to gank. So Shingy will be happy that working towards that tension bow much quicker, and Dave's just going to pour home towards that Storm Crown. No boots yet, just want to clear the jungle as quickly as possible, and Shingy's going to probably go back in to invade again.
Yeah, I mean, we do see Tezaboy rotating down. Delphi is as well catching Tezaboy out. So Chingy is not going to go in deep, just going in for the mid treant and then probably that elder treant and then back off into the jungle. Grumjaw alone, we've seen Grumjaw being played, right? Just not this series, just not this week, just not this split. In fact, not a lot of Grumjaws has been played this split. But Grumjaw, like you said, has got a very good early game, but a lot of times I do not see players just making full use of Grumjaw's early game. A lot of them just play passive all the way till Grumjaw gets a tension bow, and even then we do see some players just being passive even with that tension bow and just only comfortable after Grumjaw gets that Tyrant's Monaco, the first Tyrant's Monaco that just grants Grumjaw so much burst. But the team comp coming up from the side of Artisan, I would like to see them execute it better than what they are doing right now. They are just sitting in lane, not trying to go in for any ganks. I mean, granted, the side of Popeyes, Aeon is playing really passively anyways.
Yeah, it's interesting to note that Roshi Mitoasty has 19 CS and just brought it home. Shingy has 24 CS and now hit 25, taking another one of Glaive's jungle away. Shingy has better CS than Idris does in lane. So the Grumjaw really commanding the jungle. And Roshi Mitoasty is not farming that well. It's really hard to farm early game on Idris. You need a heavy steel. You really need that sword blade before you can actually farm effectively. Harkon's, if he can't get his jungle, he's just going to wait in lane to see what he can get. Hope that Aeon will overextend, but Aeon getting that burn onto Idris, unfreezing the lane, push, and now Glaive is going to just walk to his backs to try and get them before Shingy can. There's already a 1.5k gold lead for Popeyes, just from pretty much from Shingy just taking loads of Glaive's jungle.
Yep, definitely, and we are going to see Chingy going in again for that jungle, and there is nothing Harkons can do about it. I mean, just 4 minutes in, and Chingy has already gotten that tension bow. So honestly, Chingy is looking very strong right now. Harkons might be looking for a fight.
Harkons just going to try and back off. His afterburn is up now, so he'll be able to run away, use the boost as well. That's a nice Imperial Sigil to try and get stamina on Harkons. Chingy's going to do a lot of focus on Delphi. He's 2 levels higher, but there's the Crystal Sentry, so they're not going to fight. Roshi dead. Chingy's going to get over the wall, and that is a dead Idris. Shingy seeing it as soon as I said, and just booting towards that. Using his over the wall with A, and now Shingy has got the stuff, and that's a massive power spike. Harkons can try and go in, but he's just going to get stuffed up if he does.
There you go.
There he goes, stuffed, and now he's going to run away. There's one, or you cannot afterburn out of a bite bulwark. That's a dead Glaive. Good synergy from Popeyes. They're playing the comp perfection. They're invading in the early game. As soon as soon as Shingy hits level 6, 2 levels ahead of Glaive, so 1 level ahead of Glaive now. This will probably be a turret falling. Shingy does so much damage, in fact, this is going to get the kill on Delphire, and now they're going to get the turret as well, so that's 4-0, and a turret, giving them a nice 3k gold lead for Popeyes. Shingy's going to go back, get towards the first turret, so this is really good for Grubjaw.
I do realize one thing. Grumjaw, or rather Chingy, on this player, he plays very good early game heroes. When we saw him on Koshka, he kind of proved us wrong, right, at the desk. We were desking, and then we were saying how Koshka is going to fall out in the late game. And at 19 minutes, his Koshka is still providing and doing so much damage that game when he played Koshka. So it's quite interesting to see Chingy on this Grumjaw and see what potential Chingy can bring up for this Grumjaw, because honestly, if Chingy enjoys playing his early game heroes, Chingy just wants to be there in the face, just depriving the opponents of their farm, and he's doing perfectly. Just look at him. He has 44 CS as compared to Roasting Me Toasty on this Idris with 45 CS. And of course, Harkon is just sitting at a mere 25 CS. They are going in for the gold miner right now. I don't think there'll be any contest as well.
It's only about half full, I think. But yeah, 155 gold payout. But Popeyes more than happy to take that, push their gold lead a bit further. Possibly get Shingy a Tyrant's Monocle quicker, get that first Tyrant's before Idris gets his second damage item, which would be really good. As you said, if you're obviously Aeon's ahead of Roasting Me Toasty, and Shingy is equally ahead of Harkons. No one's really ahead. You try to eat the bin, that's not going to work, Shingy. Hey, onto Aeon with the right ball from Lyle. So much closer, he's going to fall Shingy. The damage from Grubjaw. As you said, if Grubjaw gets ahead in the early game, you're just going to fall so quickly. A nice stuff step from Shingy, and there's the arcade passage from Lyra, bait out the Artisan away from Tesla, and they want to get Delphire. They're going to get Delphire. Forced Corporal's available. It doesn't help when everyone's on top of you. You don't want to pull them closer. And so Roasting Me Toasty has now got the Shimmer Strike. It's level 6. Shingy doesn't care. Just going to get that turret. Good start stepping from Shingy, and that will be another turret going down. Another gold lead pushed up 6.5k for Popeyes. It's looking really good for them if Grubjaw can just keep getting items and keep bursting down interest just as Shingy did before.
You know, honestly, I really like just looking, because whenever I play Grumjaw, yeah, I just not want to start the step, because the amount of burst coming up from Grumjaw, it just makes you think that I don't want to start the step at all. They're just gonna die. Yeah, they are just gonna fall anyway. So what for the start the stepping? And then Chingy here on this Grumjaw, and I just realized how cute Grumjaw really is when he starts the steps. It's just like he just bounces around, you know, with the claws and whatnot. But anyways, just jumping back into the game, like you say, the side of Popeyes is sitting at a very strong. Ooh, they might be looking.
They want to go in. Boots used by Lyra. That's the Viper Voice staring up Delphire. Delphire's almost dead. Has got the force core, but he's not going to want to use it because he's if they pull them in, he's going to fall. That's what the fountain, but doesn't even use it. Tried to use the flight company, but he didn't want the fountain himself, and so he just died for this. Will be after they fight again. Harkon's going to block up the stuffed. Nice. I guess he baited that one out, not for another minute. So that was well played from Harkon's. But Harkon's only with a Storm Crown and a Lonely Crystal bit for damage, whereas obviously Shingy with that 2 full damage items, Aeon with Shattered Glass also to Cohen. The damage on Aeon is immense, and there's Shingy waiting in the bush. You know what Harkon says, the lowest distance, the force squad is blocked, so he's going to fall. Not quite, actually, he's going to charge them away, but Shingy doesn't care. He's going to dive straight onto that Idris. This is going to be Aeon falling very low, but there's going to be a fountain to keep him nice and healthy. Lyra's used everything to try and keep Aeon alive. There's another Imperial Sigil and his own heal. Delphire's going to fall. Harkon's has run away. Delphire can't do anything. This will be a sentry going over for Popeyes. Unbeatable Shingy, 5-0. Playing this superbly, and they want to get this turret. Idris is up. Delphire isn't up on the fin quite yet, and Shingy's ultimate isn't quite available, so they're just going to try and push turret, but I think Artisan might be able to stop it, unless Shingy will be able to say something else. But no, Shingy just burst that turret down to nothing, and now they're going to run away. Popeyes need to shop. They've all got over 2k, except for Shingy, so they're going to back off. Might even take a goal mine, but they definitely need to shop before they take another fight.
Yeah, I mean, they are sitting at an 8k gold lead at this point in time, just not even 10 minutes into game, and they are sitting rather comfortable. And Chingy on this Grumjaw, I must comment on his effort. He knows how to play to his capabilities, and even that early game surge, even before the tension bow. Like I was saying earlier on, like even before, whenever I see a Grumjaw, it's when I say the biggest power surge of Grumjaw is when he gets tension bow. But Chingy just says, no, I do well with double weapon blade, and I'm going in for the invades, for those invades. I'm going in. I do not care what people say. And he is doing a very good job for his team. I mean, Popeyes alone is sitting at 9-0 kills on the side of Artisan, and it's just impressive plays. I'm not surprised if, like you said, Popeyes would just go in for that gold mine now, just to further extend the lead. There is no point trying to wait for it to go full anyways, because the side of Artisan just has got no answer to this Chingy. Chingy just goes on Delphi on this Finn, and then Chingy still do a lot of damage, even onto Finn. So honestly, we do see Finn picking up an Atlas Pauldron, but what good will it be if I mean, Grumjaw, granted you have your second ability that increases your attack speed and whatnot, they are just going in for that middle tree.
Could go in, and then they're going to try and take the sentry down, but that is going to be eaten up. A nice one to keep Idris next to them. Most of this is going to use his Shimmer Strike to try and keep alive. Shingy's actually falling quite low, but most of this is even lower. Most of this is going to die. Harkos is basically dead. Shingy's going to get that. Actually, Lyra picked that one up, and now Delphi is going to run, but he's fit. He's not going to have to run for very long. Shingy's running forwards. There's the Grumpy. There's the Hangry, and Shingy's going to get... Actually, Tezumo picked up another kill. Tezumo is carrying quite hard on this Lyra. And they can't quite push. There's no minions yet. Shingy's just going to get some backs, and they're probably going to set up for a gank. I'd expect them to just either wait in a bush, or maybe wait behind the where the backs of Artisan would be, but they're just going to go and shop instead. Makes sense. They just want to they've already farmed up, and so they want to make sure that they spend the gold they've got, and they might as well get a gold mine while they're here. Nothing else to do. So why not? And I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I mean they are sitting at a 10k gold difference, 10k gold lead now for the side of Popeye. Yeah, 12 minutes in, 10k gold lead. They can't do much more like they are now.
Shingy's being caught out, a little bit aggressive, and that's a lovely like company to spin. And more skill will bring Shingy back. Not where Shingy wants to be. He's gonna get a fountain, and has been at the Shingy. It's not doing anywhere near as much damage. And there's the stuff. Delphi's gonna fall. Rosto's basically dead. Aeon's going to try and get it, and that'll be Harkos actually gets the kill onto Shingy. Rosto's going to fall to Aeon. That's the ace for Popeyes, thanks to the alternating current on Aeon. And as you said, the Atlas on Delphi is great against Shingy, because Grumjaw, even though Grumjaw hasn't built any attack speed, the extra attack speed you get from using your Hangry is so bad. They do so much less damage. By less damage, it's only about, what, 600 damage as opposed to 1,000, so it's good, but it's still not quite going to be enough. You need to take a winning a team fight, catch someone out as they did. Shingy getting too over aggressive, trying to take the Treant away, and the Glaive got a good afterburn. But obviously with the double heal, Idris can't get enough basic attacks off to get a mortal wound off that quickly, because Idris is just going to die if he tries to jump in, because obviously they are 10k.
Yeah, definitely.
So that means that Aeon and Tezumo both get full heals onto Shingy. And obviously with the basic attack buff from Aeon on Shingy, that's just so much extra damage, even if he gets Atlas. And that's 3 damage items for Aeon. That's a big power spike. It just can afford tension bow shortly, but Motion is going to fall. He's going to try and Shimmer Strike to stay alive. It won't be enough. Motion's going to pick that one up, and that is Glaive. Om nom nom, you're going to die. And now Finn's running away, but your Finn, once again, he's not going to get away. That's another ace for Popeyes, and I don't see them not just pushing for the win here.
Yep, they are going to go push for that win. This is close to flawless victory for the side of Popeyes. Popeyes.
Shingy feed.
Shingy is definitely the feeder. If you want feeder, it will be Shingy with that one pathetic death.
Grumjaw, and Grumjaw goes off numb and feeds.
Yep,
That's
anyways,
about.
this is outstanding performance coming out from the side of Popeyes, taking this win and this series in a very convincing match with Chingy on that Grumjaw. I think it was just really down to the last pick Grumjaw going up against Idris, and of course that of Harkons. Like, just look at just look at Harkons' build. Harkons has got like what, a Sorrow, not Sorrow Blade, sorry, a Storm Crown, and then an Aftershock. what damage could you possibly do on this glaive? And then of course you have that's about it. And then of course Rosie Mitose has got damage, but then you cannot out damage a Chingy that's already full build. Just have one what is that called, tension bow, and then double Tyrant's Monaco. There is no way you can out damage him, especially this early into the game. Anyways, Aeon